Shakti is the energy, literally in English, the power, the energy of all that there is. This whole multifaceted world with all the diverse expressions of creativity and the cycles of time themselves are all part of her pulsating being. And so she is the breath that we breathe, the mind that we think with. And so when we take in the new moon, metaphorically in the subtle body, this is a drawing in from the crown lotus, where we see often, for instance, the crescent moon is in Shiva's hair, or a lunar symbol is at the third eye mark. And the drawing down into the body of the in-breath, literally the waxing moon, fills us with creative potential, fills us with a new self. And this is Shakti. She is the very liberating power of this breath, personified no better than the goddess Sharada, who is a tantric personification in Kashmir of the far more famous goddess Saraswati, who's named after an ancient river that actually terminated in Kashmir. So tonight, for the first time in centuries, we begin, let us say, the preliminary steps of welcoming back this divine ritual, reciting the 1,000 names of Sharada, or let us say the 1,000 names of our own embodied existence, our own being, as a ritual of self-acceptance and transformation. And so our text begins with this lovely dialogue between Bhairava, a tantric manifestation of Lord Shiva, and Shakti, generic Shakti, as Bhairavi, right? And we'll get a sense right away in this introductory discussion that Sharada and this ritual of reciting her 1,000 names is far more than a gesture to appease some goddess out there. Rather, it carries somehow the very power of liberation within its very performance. Om Swasti Prajabhya Namah Shri Sharada Bhagavatyai. Om, praise be to Venerable Shri Sharada, the autumnal goddess. We bow to she who generates the universe. Praise be to this auspicious goddess who destroys all deprivation and suffering. Shri Bhairavi asked Bhairava, O Supreme One, for the benefit of all practitioners, all yogis out there, teach me the ritual performance comprising her 1,000 names, which grants liberation and worldly blessings. O Supreme One, grant to me that ritual performance. Teach me this ritual performance that bestows blessings and liberation upon all yoga practitioners. So with these words, the way Bhairavi requests this, she's asking not for some ritual so some goddess out there could be praised, but rather a ritual that will lead to liberation from suffering in here, a liberation for sadhakas, or practitioners, yogis. So somehow the recitation of these names is a practice, and indeed we find that the names themselves correspond to a very simple but powerful yogic science that is meant to dissolve stuck gunk in the subtle body. Literally, by moving the mantras that personify Sharada, we learn to transform all the expressions of Sharada, particularly in the range of our own human emotions that can become intense. We learn to transform these into the power of pure awakening. So Bhairava responds not as a teacher, but as a lover. Bhairava, or Shiva, represents consciousness, where Shakti, or Bhairavi, is energy. This is eternity in love with time and space. This is the excitement, the friction of the spark of the fire of passion that creates life and throws it off again. So he teaches her this means to liberation so that we may play while in these bodies without being overwhelmed by life itself, and yet recognize the power of life to continually trigger the bliss of pure self-recognition. So he says, Tasya Namasahasram te vaksheham bhakti sadhanam trivaga paladam gopyam sadakeshta pradayakam. As a lover, romantically, he says, my beloved, I will teach you the secret that bestows the reward sought in all of the universe, sought by all practitioners, no matter what their rank and file is. And that is freedom from suffering, the devotional practice of reciting her 1,000 names.